All right, I have closed out the OBS app. Honestly, I think it needs more work, and I don't really have much to show you guys tonight. But yeah, so hopefully, hopefully this being my third live stream tonight doesn't impact the video. But all right, we got one person, and I don't think it's me. Kind of wish I told you how many people were in it. But I know this is kind of last minute. Didn't advertise at all that we were going to be live streaming again. Oh, it's better or worse. No. Let's go back to the videos. I think I deleted all of them. All right, well, anyway. Oh, yeah, we got two people. Sweet. Hey, guys, welcome to the live stream tonight. Apologize for the earlier versions of the stream. We was trying out this application called OBS, and it's basically like a broadcasting stream version application, and it allows you to kind of have a your screen. It allows you to share your screen as well as have your video camera minimized, but wasn't configured it correctly, and eventually I had to go into the app, go back into YouTube, get a new live stream code, paste that in there, and it's kind of why we have multiple streams tonight. So this will be the actual stream tonight. We're just using YouTube and the webcam. So hey, we got 3 people tonight. If you guys have any questions, whatever comments, feel free to make them. I know it's a little late. It's 9:30 Eastern. We were out in the shop all day today, so it's been a long day. Finished up another project for the Corvette. Well, half of a project, so that video will be coming soon. Need to finish editing it and do the outro. Yeah, so. But if you guys have any comments, feel free. This is open book Q&A. I don't have any agenda tonight. Any itinerary really. So, can you guys hear me? That's a big question. I have the microphone on, but I don't know if the webcam itself has a microphone. I think it does. So if you guys can hear me, can you leave a comment? Just want to make sure the audio is turned up all the way. And the one thing about Windows 10 that sucks is thank you, Quell. So, but yeah, I was just complaining about Windows 10. Windows 7 had a much better configuration for sound, if that makes sense. Right now, it's not very. I hate the setup on Windows 10. So, sound mixer. Maybe. Anyway, all right. Well, thank you, Quell, for letting me know about that. You guys can hear. I guess we can wait another minute, see if any more people join. I know you guys get pop-ups all the time from YouTube saying, "Oh, someone's streaming or joining, whatever." So, like I said, if you guys have any questions, comments, feel free. Yeah, the only reason I have Windows 10 because it was free, and there's just parts of it that I hate. The whole start menu with all the ads and Like, I had to remove a bunch of stuff, like unpin it, remove it, delete it, and it's just like right now I'm staring at my start menu. It's got game solitaire, not solitaire, but like soda. What the hell, Candy Crush? Like, I don't do any of that. So I don't know why they basically put a bunch of crap on your computer to make it mobile, to look like a phone, but it's just a crappy version. But like I said, pretty much freeform nights. If you guys have any comments, go ahead, leave one. I'll get back to it. But I'm glad you guys can hear, because I got a seriously old microphone. Like, I don't even know what brand. Oh, it's a Logitech, so I guess it's not terrible. But I've had that thing forever. So, and the webcam that we're using is Logitech as well. So, but like I was saying, we finished up a project on the Corvette today. Finally, we get some progress on that. I've got to do the front now. So, but I actually had some really good interaction with some of you guys this week. I've been speaking with a guy named Manny. He's got a C6 Z06 with an E-Force blower on it. And sorry, I'm messing around with the light. He's got a C6 Z06 with an E-Force supercharger on it, and he's hitting me up about changing out the pulley. I think it's a stock LS7. It might have cam and heads. I'm not sure about that. I hope he fixed the heads. But anyway, he was working on getting his car tuned this week, and he was reaching out to me about just information about kind of heat exchanger, injectors, stuff like that. And finally, I think the number he put down previously with the E-Force with the 7-liter was 750 horsepower. I don't know much about the build, the engine, the heads, or anything like that, but he was going to install the 2.75 pulley on his car, and so he had questions about that. So he was getting that dynoed like end of the week, so hopefully I can hear back from him, and we'll get you guys a horsepower update with the family within the YouTube community of my sharing my information with you guys and just interacting. So it's pretty cool seeing a guy have another Corvette, another E-Force. Kind of went down the road I did with some of the mods, and seeing other people take my information and go to the next level. So that's pretty cool. 3 of us now. Sweet. I guess that makes us 4. Three viewers and me, so 4. If you guys have any questions, like I said, free form, type away. We'll get to you. Updates. Shipping sucks. This whole global issue, as we've been describing it over the videos, has really messed with. Whoa, you guys are all blown out. Sorry. Has really messed with shipping times. So I ordered some project parts for the Corvette, and I ordered parts in April. They should have shipped, but due to stuff being shut down, manufacturers being shut down, I haven't gotten them. Actually, we're talking about the Corvette C7 seats. So I ordered the harnesses, the adapter harnesses for the C7 back in April. It is now almost August. I've called the guy 3 times, and basically, he hasn't given me an update. He basically doesn't have the harness connectors, like basically the bits to plug the seat side to the body side. Unless he gets it off a junkyard car, he basically doesn't have harnesses to build. So the whole plug-and-play C7 seat, I've been trying to get that situated, and yeah, so I don't know. If it comes down to it, Corvette C7 seats, I'm just going to have to take the harness out of the C7 seat, the harness out of my C6 seats, which is what I didn't want to do. I wanted something plug and play, have an adapter harness, boom, plug it in, and we get power adjusting C7 seats for like $400 because that's what I paid about per seat for those C7 seats. So unfortunately, due to the whole global issue and stuff, I don't have harnesses, and I'm not sure if I'm even going to get harnesses. And I've pestered the guy twice now, and yeah, no updates. It's been 3-4 months almost, and yeah, so that's the first update. So I don't know when the C7 seats will go in. If we have to strip both seats and custom make some harness, I'm just gonna have to wait until the winter. Not winter, but maybe fall. I mean, hell, it's already July now. Cooler weather is a few months away. That's when we'll end up doing that, just because I don't want to do that. There's some wiring diagrams out there, not really diagrams, just kind of explanations of what pin needs to go to what harness on the seat. I don't want to do that. I don't want to tear apart the C6 seat, because I wanted to sell those seats as take it out of the car. Y'all can go plug that into your Corvette C6, whatever. But with having to take the harnesses out, you're basically going to butcher the C7 harness and the C6 harness to get it to work. So that sucks. That's the biggest delay I've had right now. What was the other thing? Oh, man, I thought about this before we went live. Was the seats was the first thing. Oh, snowball. So since I can't put the seats in the car, I can't put the harnesses in the car. So that you've already seen that video. So you saw the C7 seat, you saw the brackets that we bolted to the seat, you saw the harness video. That's what it was, the lower harness. Schroth has not gotten back to me on the lower harness for the submarine part, basically the part that comes up around your crotch and plugs into the bottom of the seatbelt. Can't get that. I have new panels to put in the car, but those panels require me to take out the C6 seatbelt and remove it, and then I could put the panel in and then bolt the seatbelt back in. So I got new panels to put in the car. I got a rear shock trunk strut, the little gas pneumatic shock for the trunk lid. I have one of those to put in, but again, don't have the harness, don't have the seat, don't have the seat belts. So everything's basically delayed because one guy is not sending out parts that I've purchased. I called him. I did it over the phone, had a purchase order number. He has my credit card or PayPal. I don't remember how I paid. I gave him my financial information, but he never got back to me. So I don't know. And unfortunately, with that C7 conversion, there's only one guy that I know that was offering that service. So then there's other parts with that C7 seat, airbags, what else going on? Oh, airbags, the HVAC, so it's heated and cooled, those controllers. It's just turning into a nightmare. And like I said, I didn't want to have to come up with my own wiring harnesses and all that stuff. So that's that kind of sucks. So just to be honest, so that's the first delay. The seat harness, the seat belt lower, we talked about that. So that's really impacting things. We're doing suspension rebuilds on the Corvette. You guys have already seen the ZR1 subframe. Well, that's going to continue. I kind of mentioned in that video that I was waiting for me to get that subframe and not everything else all at once, so that we could just do a big build, have like 4 or 5 videos, whatever it is, and go from there. So we're thankfully can do the suspension stuff. We just don't have the seatbelt stuff, which sucks because I really wanted those C7 seats in the car. And hell, maybe by the time we get them in, it will be cold again, and we won't need the air conditioning, the ventilated, cooled seats. So, but I've seen people pop on and off here. If you guys have questions or comments, feel free to ask. I'll reply and interact with you guys. But yeah, so seats, part delays, it's just been a nightmare, and getting some of the suspension pieces has been has been delayed as well. So it's just not a good time to try to build a car. And heck, even if the car was done and I hadn't torn back apart, it's not like I could go racing. South Carolina just closed all tracks. You know, NASCAR, dirt track, drag racing, sled pulling, or whatever. Tractor pulls. Like, they've closed all of their tracks due to record numbers of the global issue going around. So South Carolina tracks are all closed. ZMAX isn't open. I think ZMAX might be open for autocrossing, but that's about it. Maybe we built the car for drag racing. We end up going autocrossing this year. Well, not really built the car, but horsepower and all those mods were kind of themed toward drag racing, not autocrossing or road coursing. So maybe we get the car back together and put the front sway bar back in and we go autocross. I mean, I haven't done that in 3 or 4 years. So literally autocrossing might be the only thing I can do besides test and tune at Mooresville, if that makes sense. So I don't know. I don't know if I even want to go to Mooresville. That track sucks, to be honest, with traction and just, it is what it is. So, but hey, if you guys have questions or comments, type them out, and this is a Q&A, so we'll try to answer any questions or comments you guys might have. So drag racing's out. I had friends that just drove all the way out to Rockingham from here. That's like a 4-hour drive, and I think they may have had a private test and tune or something like that. And yeah, from what he said, prep was terrible. So I was thunder. Prep was terrible, and the guy basically said he wasted his day. So I'm like, you know what? It's a good time to have my car torn apart. So, but yeah, so that's kind of just the gist of what's going on. We're trying to work on the car. It's 100 degrees out. You guys will see I have the fan on up above me. It's just, whoa. That's crazy. Anyway, I'm manipulating the light and it. Anyway, so you guys can see we have the fan on up above me, and yeah, it's like it was 90 degrees today, and I think with heat index it was over 100. So, and it's miserable to be outside, but we are getting some stuff done. And so, speaking of fans, we actually just ordered some 99. Wow, what's going on, man? Does the car go woo woo? Yes, the engine does. Oh shoot, I didn't meant to plug the battery charger back in, or battery tender back in. Oops. The car does go woo woo. It just can't move anywhere because it has no suspension on it. Well, you'll see that in future videos. But yeah, what were we talking about? Hey Steve, thank you for joining. It's like an alarm clock in the morning. Woo woo. Yeah, it's going all right. Just weather blows. And how's the Raleigh area? I know you guys are having fun up there. Sweaty, yeah. Oh, that's what I was talking about. So you guys will see the fan up above. I mentioned earlier this year that we'd be doing some shop updates. So I've ordered a fan. I'm not doing air conditioning. It's just too expensive. But with that third bay being small and tight, I think 2 fans on the wall would be awesome. So I've got one on order. They're expensive. Like, this fan was $250 some dollars. So that should be here Tuesday. That'll, of course, be a video coming up. They're actually recommended by Obsessed Garage, and that guy lives down in Florida. So hopefully, if they work in Florida, it should work here. I would imagine Florida is a lot more humid than North Carolina. So, and I'm not talking about just air, real super cold air. I'm just looking for airflow. It's a tight bay, and when the car's in the lift and you're on either side, the fan I have now it just doesn't reach. So hopefully air movement on with 1 or 2 fans mounted up high will help just create airflow through the shop. So, but yeah, like I said, if you guys have any comments, feel free to type them up. We'll interact with you guys. And I also apologize for, you probably may have seen like 4 or 5 live streams tonight. I've gone in and deleted those. I was trying out this new software called OBS. At least I think it was called OBS. OBS Studio Suite, and if you don't have it configured just right, like it'll go live, but your camera won't work. And the other thing it does is it really jacks up the camera quality. So I just was like, yeah, no. So yeah, they've probably got a faster computer, and they know how to use it. This literally was like the second time I've ever opened it. So I just was like, no, I closed it. But it seems like a good application, but I mean, hell, my desktop that we're on is 10 years. No, it's, what year is it? 2020? I built that 12 years ago. No, more than that. I moved down here in 2000. I built that 12 or 13 years ago. I've refreshed it a few times with newer motherboard, processor, RAM, but yeah, it needs to, it doesn't need to go. I need to rebuild it again. So do you use that to stream Blown GTP? Wow. Yeah. CPU, it's a, dude, I don't even remember. It's an Intel. Let's look. Let's see, properties. So it's an Intel quad CPU, 2.8 gigahertz. I mean, this thing's old. 64-bit OS. Yeah, it's a tower that I built. I forgot the name of the brand. I built it like 12 years ago, like I was saying. Anyway, it's a Intel Core 2 quad CPU, 2.8 gigahertz. I don't even know. I've been out of the computer realm so long. I don't even know what's current anymore. The motherboard was a specific size for the case, and you know, I've upgraded it. Gigabyte. I think the motherboard's gigabyte, and I've upgraded that twice now in the graphics card. So I honestly just use my this desktop for editing videos. Need to get that Ryzen. Okay, I'm gonna have to Google that. I don't even know what that is. Oh, it's AMD. Okay. Wow. Pretty dated. Dude, I think that processor's 12, 13 years old. Yeah. I never upgraded the CPU. Yeah. That's what sucks about computers, man. You change them, upgrade them, and then 2 years later, yeah, AMD. Thank you, Steven. Yeah, they just end up wearing out over time. Not wearing out, they just get outdated. It's like your cell phone, you know. This is a Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. This is an S10. AT&T was already talking about making some of these phones obsolete. I mean, this phone's 2 years old. It's like, and it was like a network connection issue. It wasn't just, I don't have AT&T. I'm stuck with Sprint, T-Mobile, but it's like this phone is 2 years old and you're going to take it off network because of some backwards 4G thing, and, you know, because they're going to 5G. I'm like, dude, like I understand a phone that's 5, 6 years old, but 2, that's ridiculous. So, what else going on? Talked about Corvette drag racing, maybe getting back into autocrossing, maybe. Don't hold me to that. Hell, I think ZMAX has an event this weekend. CCR, CCA. THSCC, is that Triad something? Tar Heel Sports Car Club. Chris Drum, wow, man, I wasn't expecting you here. Well, yeah, we're good. You know, we've just been sweating a lot. So yeah, today's Saturday. I guess CCR had an autocross here today. Wow, your name just popped in my head. I'll try to copy paste this into the chat. Well, that didn't paste very well, but anyway, July 25th was at ZMAX, September 19th and October 17th. All right, wow, a lot of comments. All right, AMD. Yeah, phones get outdated. It's stupid. Autocross. Yeah, I just pasted that down below. Steve can't. Oh man, phone updates suck. Steve, like you commented, every time you open your phone, downloads an update from Samsung or whoever your provider is. It just really kills your phone. Quell, every 2 years. Dude, I'm too poor for that. I'm not buying a new car every 2 years. That's why my truck is 15 years old. So is the Corvette. Like crap. 2005, 20. Yeah, Corvette's 15 years old. And that's why I won't be replacing the SS either. Triad. Yeah. ZMAX is still going on. They're not doing any drag racing. I doubt they're going to be doing Streetcar Takeover just due to the virus. 18-year-old Corvette. Hey, that's legal. No. No, man. There's a reason I didn't buy a C5 13 years ago. It was the interior. I mean, if you want a track car with gutted cage, damn, that's kind of what mine's turning into. A C5's fine. Yeah, I like the eyeballs. Actually, Chris, you might know a guy. After Dark Speed Shop. He's up in Mooresville. After Dark. What the hell's his name? After Dark. Okay, After Dark Motorsports. I'm working with him to do some. Yeah, Ryan. I'm working with him to do some ZR1. Damn, what's the name of it? Watch out for the pre-99 cars. Hey, man, I had a. Oh, you're talking about Corvettes. Yeah, C5s. They have window regulator and door lock issues. It's been a long time since I've had to help a person fix the C5. But getting back to Ryan, camber bolts on the bottom of the suspension. I reached out to him because he sells some like C5 and C6 non suspension pieces for the alignment. And I'm working with him to get a set of fronts made. Nice. And anyway, so I've got a 01 subframe. I don't know if you saw that video, but basically the C5Z, sorry, C6Z and C6ZR1, the subframe has wider channels for the cam lock. So I think the bolts are different. Yeah, the bolts have different part numbers. So I'm working with him to get a Z0601 size cam lockout, if that's what you want to call it, for the suspension. And so hopefully you'll see that product soon. And I didn't even know he ran a speed shop, or I don't know, after hour business, whatever. I just happened to see a Facebook update of him winning some race down at Road Atlanta, Road Atlanta, whatever the hell that track's called now. And he's like, yeah, after hours, checked out his website, saw they have parts. I'm like, sweet. All right. Pre-99. EBCM that cannot be replaced. Hey, Quell, that's just like having a 2005 with a 1-of-1 year ECM. I really wish I'd bought a different year Corvette, but 12 years ago, 13 years ago. Cool. Very cool. Yeah, I'm redoing my suspension right now, so hopefully I can get some of his parts. All the lower cam centric bolt, whatever the hell that thing's called. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, 2005 has a 1-of-1 year called E40 ECM. HP Tuner works on it, but the end gauge doesn't work. You can't read alcohol fuel percentage on it. Dash commander doesn't work, or maybe it does work. Anyway, a lot of stuff doesn't work on the E40. And if it dies, they don't make it. I think I might be able to get one from PCM, but if that ECM ever dies, I'm hosed. And the bad thing is, if I want to do a Holly or Haltech or whatever, I want to retrofit it and have all the gauges work, I still need that stupid ECM to control the body control module. So kind of what we were talking about with the EBCM for the C5s. So, but anyway, I guess we could talk about that. There's enough people here. And the only reason I'd be going like a standalone ECM is the 05 ECM. Like I said, you can't replace it. What do I think about the C8? Yeah. I bought mine in 2007. It had 6,000 miles on it. So, yeah, Chris, I saw that Steve Rankins has that 8-speed hooked up. I'm kind of like, C7 8-speed and a C6. Can't say it can't be done, but if they've got the trans controller for it, show if you're talking about mid-engine Corvette. Am I sad about no manual? I don't care. The dual clutch isn't going to hold up to power, so it's going to break. And yeah. Also not crazy about the looks. The performance would be awesome. The performance of the C8 would be awesome if, what was I going to say about that? Oh, if you could tune it. That's the big issue with the C8. It's like the 19 ZR1. It took them like, 2 years to tune the damn thing. So, until that C8, and I don't know how the guys that are twin turboing their cars are tuning it. Are they just throwing meth at it? Are they tricking the PCM because you can't tune it? Like, they're doing some like really weird wizardry. Ooh. Chris, what kind of motor do you have set up or going to set up? That's a good question. Actually, I want to talk about motors tonight too. Yes, show if the PCMs are locked, and they're not. They. I can't say they have the same encryption that the C701 had. I think it's even more complex, and so it'll be a year or two before they can unlock them and take full advantage, because the direct injection is it's a mess trying to tune it. But they make power, so it's a trade-off. Okay. 388 cube LS7. So is that a 4.8 or 5.3 crank in a LS7 block with stock pistons? It's just a weird combination. So that's actually what the C5 and C6 are running. Steering wheel sensor. Hey, Quell, where is that steering wheel sensor? Is that in the harness is that like behind the steering wheel, or is it down in the column somewhere? That's a question. I've not had a problem with that. Again, I swapped clock spring. I swapped the steering wheel twice. I might do that a third time. So what happens when you own a car for a decade, you start replacing parts 2 or 3 times. RF engines. Is RF engines local? Let's look that up. I don't know. RF engines. They are in Concord. Of course they are. All right, we're still live. Cool. Oh, wow, they're way up there. That's cool. Hey, Chris, would you recommend them for a 427 Stroker LS3? That's kind of next on my list, or wants, is a 7-liter. Same crank as LS6. All right, so it's based on LS1, LS6 crank. Okay, cool. All right, so we're talking about engines, and I kind of want a 427. It doesn't have to be 427, but 427 something, but it's not going to be an LS7. I don't want to drop a valve. So, yeah, I'm looking at various manufacturers. Texas Speed. Wow. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. I'll have to get in contact with them. Like I said, I'm not zoned in on only one company. If I could get a motor built locally, I would do something like that. Basically, I want something that's a forged bottom end. Had the dealer do it. Wow. That sucks. Dealers. Right. Yeah, the LS3 block can go a decent amount. Hell, people run 7s on them, but I'm looking at a 2650 and a 427. That's kind of my future that I want to do. So, actually, we just got parts in for that too. Ooh, shouldn't have told you guys that. So, but yeah, I want to do an engine build in the future. Might not be this year, probably be next year. And I would be willing to buy a short block, if that makes sense. That's kind of what I'm in the market for. Short block, 427, forged bottom end, forged rods, Crank should be fine, I would think, but definitely forged pistons and rods. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I don't remember names. Well, that's the other thing. Is like I meet people and then I add them on Facebook and say, "Oh, hey, I think I've met you." It's not a strength thing. It's a 4-inch stroke and LS3 block. Yeah. I don't know. Dart makes a block. Who else? Dart makes a block. Damn it, there's another manufacturer out there. Texas Speed does a sleeved LS3. Blueprint Engines does a sleeved for LS3. Oh, and I don't want an iron block. That's my end of engine. Right. Yeah, it has part to do with the stroke, and there would be a weakness there. Nelson Racing Engines did a really good video about that. Man, probably like 2-3 years ago. I'd have to go back and revisit that, but I know what you're talking about. You know, physically, you're so far down the stroke that the piston's probably hanging 3/4 of the way out the. I don't know about 3/4, but it's hanging really down low, and if you're throwing 20 psi at it, it's probably not a good thing. So, RHS, is that a manufacturer? Yeah, RHS Dart. They both make aftermarket blocks. And yeah, I don't know. We're up. I have a buddy of mine that had a stroker kit from Texas Speed, an LS9 block, so 6.2 block, for sale for probably, I don't know, $4,500. But then I'd have to go get a machine set up, clearance all the bearings and all that. I'm like, so if you took all the parts, it was basically a 416 into a LS9 block, and right. And so anyway, I saw the combination, and it was a good price. But man, once you start paying a machine shop to try to put that together, and machining, line honing, checking bearing clearances and all that, I don't want to deal with that. I'd rather just buy a short block that's balanced, blueprinted, and available. So. All right, Quell. Sorry, Quell. I saw your comments. I didn't see them. All in the column or under it. Yeah, the pistons. And if you screw up the coating and the sleeve wear, well, that's, yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Chris. Not disagreeing with that. What else did we miss? $2,650. We talked about that. I made a video about that. It was quite long. It was like, I think it was a 30-minute video. But $2,650. What the hell was that? Sorry, guys. Camera's like flickering. $2,650. I need it. Not that I need it, but the 2300 I have currently, I'm one pulley away from maxing it out. I'm putting down 14, 15 pounds of boost on a stock bottom end LS2. Not forge. CNC headed, yes. CNC ported LS3 heads. 1 7/8 inch Cook's headers. And this LS9 cam, so like that thing, I think it'll last a while, but I don't want to blow that combination up if I can build a motor, buy a motor, whatever, and for bigger blower, because basically 14 pounds of boost, and I'm only making 700 horsepower. With the 2650, they're at 20 pounds of boost, making like 1,000, 1,100. So, it is what it is. I just think and even my tuner was like, yeah, we probably are at the limit of the stock motor with what I have. Oh, and we're on E85. I forgot that too. So actually, no, we were only on like E38, E40. When I filled the Corvette up and got it tuned the last time, I had too much 93 in it. I gave them a jug of fuel, but they literally didn't use any of it. They tuned it, and 2005's Quell could probably talk about this. I'm not a HP tuners expert, but basically the E85 table is it's all custom because the car was not built for E85 at all. So, oh, and I added a return style fuel system. That was the other thing. The whole issue of the Corvette, it took like a year to build this stupid thing, or a year and a half, was I had it done not this past spring, but the previous spring. We ran out of fuel on the dyno. Like, it dropped. I had a video of it. If you guys have been on the channel a long time, we dropped almost 30 pounds of fuel pressure. Went from like 58 to 38. And so we ended up ripping out the entire fuel system, buying an A&A twin pump kit from Holley. Well, A&A lines, Holley pump, Holley fuel pressure regulator, and I custom made my own return system. And it's that A&A says that kit's good for 1,200 horsepower. I'd like to test that. So we've talked about a lot of random stuff tonight: blower, engine, project stuff, racing. I don't know. I'm really thinking about. I am running a 06 to 08 Z06 diff in trans. Wait, did I say that right? Yeah, I'm trying to keep the topics like relatable, but we're moving from one section of the car to another. Yeah, so 06 to 08 Z06 diff, because 2005s have real crappy diff mounts. They break axles. Matt, I calculated that once, like 7 years ago. I did the heads cam, and in my old house, and I've been here coming up on 6 years. Like, I did that 8 years ago, and I had a compression ratio. I think it's 11 to 1. Might be 10.8 to 1, because the LS3 heads on a LS2 block, it's a 4-inch bore. There's some numbers fudging around there, but I think it's like 10.8 to 11.5 to 1. I don't have the exact ratio, because it's not this. It won't be a stock LS3. It won't be a stock LS2 compression ratio. So that's my best guess. I don't think it's not more than 11.5. I can tell you that. And roots blowers are brutal on stock bottom ends. And clutch is what PSI is 14 pounds. Actually, hell, it might be more than that. The problems with the E-Force is that when you're pushing them, like I've got a 2.75 inch pulley on it, they come stock with a 4-inch, 3.8, 3.875 or 4. It's freaking huge. And now my pulley's like that. It's 14 or 15 pounds of boost on the 85. But I do have ported heads. I have a LS9 cam. And so, that all headers, ported head, that all impacts boost. So, but if you guys were watching the video from the beginning, a guy reached out to me with a Z06. He's making 750 wheel with a 427 LS7. I don't know combination of headers and ported heads or anything like that, but I mean, just bigger cubes, they like boost. So that's kind of why I want to get a 427 2650, because 1,000 horsepower would be awesome. Quell, back to your question. Yeah, I sold the stock diff and stock trans out of the car, installed the Z06 parts, and I haven't had an issue. Actually, I was running stock axles up until today. That's actually part of my project. I swapped over to C5 axles because C6 axles suck. So yeah, Chris, I actually am running C5 parts on my car. Got a set of C5 Z06 axles. But all right, we got 5 people in here. Well, that's cool from not planning this really and just having people join. All right, what else going on? Yeah, if you guys got any questions or comments, keep dropping them and we'll just keep interacting. I'll get back to you guys with Manny's Z06 numbers. I think he had a dyno. Yes, Chris, you're gonna laugh at this. So I tore a hole in the boot of my C6 base. It's base model. See, it does go woo woo. Oh, it's. Anyway, Chris, yeah, I was taking the axles out, swapping coilovers, doing all that stuff. The damn coilover landed right on the axle boot, tore the thing wide open. The axle boot kit from GM for just one end of it, was $75, brand new, maybe $68, whatever. I found a pair of C5 Z06 axles on eBay. Yes, they're used, but I don't care. For $80 shipped. Yeah, and I had an eBay coupon for eBay bucks. I think I ended up paying $75 for 2 C5 Z06 axles in pretty good shape. I had to knock some surface rust off of them and paint them, but why the hell would I spend $75 for a repair kit when I can go get a swap axle? So I now have C5Z axles on the car, so that'd be a future video. So yay, C5. But yeah, so that's the transmission setup currently. I've kind of hinted at and talked to people about running an 8-speed auto. I mean, hell, if you're going full aftermarket Motec, why not? So my only issue with running an aftermarket ECM is I still live in an Admissions County. Nice. Quell. Cool on the trans. The transmission should be fine. The Tremec is not the issue. The issue with the 05 C. Sorry, too many generations here. Hold on. The issue with the 2005 is the transmission. Let me start. The issue with the 05 C6 Corvette is the differential. It's not the transmission. The Tremec is the same between the 05 and pretty much every other year. There are some differences. There's a spline count difference. I believe the 05 was 28 spline, and the 06 and newers were 31 spline or something like that. The issue you'll have with the Z51 is gearing, but I think you'll be fine. If you're not drag racing it, you'll be fine. But yeah, it's the diff. The mount design is real crappy. They break the ears off the diff itself. And now I drag raced for years on the stock setup. I'm lucky I never wheel hopped and snapped those ears off. And when those ears tend to snap, they take the axles out too, and that can destroy the diff. Maybe even the output shaft coming out of the transmission into the diff. Like it can really screw up a lot of things. I ended up selling my diff to a guy who broke his and was selling the car, so he needed a new one. And I sold the trans to a guy that blew up the trans. I'm not saying you can't, but the Z51 at least has a trans cooler on it, so that's cool. But other than that, there's some inherent weaknesses with the 05. I swapped all that, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. The biggest thing that might have saved me from drag racing from years and years were coilovers. I got rid of the leaf springs, man, like 8 years ago. I think coilovers really soft. I don't know if it's softened or stiffened the rear end of the car up, and it helps eliminate wheel hop. Not completely, but I think it helps save that rear diff. So C6Z stubs on C5Z axles. What wheel bearings are you running, Chris? Because as far as I know, the wheel bearings are all the same up until 2009. And then when the 01 came out, it really screwed up all the rest of the parts. So that's why the axles are 01 specific. Not axles, but the hubs are specific to the 01 trans. And yeah. Oh, and if you buy the retrofit, yeah, when the 01 came out, they boogered up the car. Does that make sense? They replaced the whole anti-lock brake system with, I think they went from Bosch to Delphi or Delphi to Bosch. I don't remember. So that's different. So you can't run the tire pressure sensors from the newer cars on the older cars. They changed the diff. Okay, that's actually what I was going to get to, the SKF hubs. So if I cannot run SKF hubs on my car to work with my anti-lock brakes or the traction control or the tire pressure sensor, any of that stuff, I have to get these retrofit ones, which basically becomes $500 a corner. Oops, I said the curse word. Anyway, yeah, so hubs get really expensive. So that's why I can't run into the 01 stuff. I mean, you can, but your trans is $5,000. Trans and diff are $5,000. Your hubs are now $1,000. Axles, banned for language. Yeah, this will probably get demonetized. No, actually, I was reading. I think it's within the first 30 seconds of a video. If you have a swear word, they'll demonetize it. Something like that. I don't know. Well, I'm not saying if you went SKF, you went like Timken. I don't even know if Timken makes a bearing for a Corvette, but just not $400 or $500. Yeah, let me look. Those SKF. I kind of wish I had the other application open, but the video quality sucks. So SKF bearings 2005 Corvette. TPS Motorsports sells it. Oh, $369. Free shipping. Okay. Maybe it's $3. Anyway, you're looking at $1,200 to replace all the bearings. Yeah. I really miss the C5 and C6 and C7. That deep growl of the IMSA car. I caught some of the IMSA race with the C8, and it just doesn't sound good. All right. So I know there's 6 out of you. if you guys have any questions, comment. We'll interact some more. Yeah. Oh, it's 10:30. Man, I wasn't expecting this night to go by that quickly. All right, let's go back to our videos. Oh, subscribers. I forgot to talk about that. We're actually approaching 4,000 subscribers, which is kind of crazy. Videos. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to see if the... It's still live. Okay, cool. Hey, Chris, send me a message on Facebook Messenger. Yeah, that's the best way. I'm probably game. I don't have anything going on tomorrow as far as I know. Yeah. So, but Matt, I think stock was like 13. God, 13.1 was best modified or best stock-ish. Modified, I haven't ran in like 2 years. Is that? All right, so stocks, let's say 13.5 and modified. The best on the old setup was an 11.7 at 129, 127, something like that. So the mile per hour is like a 10-second pass, but COVID, this year has been shut down due to global issues, and last year I didn't have a car because of fuel system, basically. Hey, Quell, what arrow do I have? I basically have the 0-1 splitters, front and sides. I have a underbelly tray that I made. It's not on the car currently because I'm still working on it. But basically, I use the aluminum radiator. Yeah, that was the radiator. The aluminum radiator subframe, if that's what you want to call it. Basically, it's what the radiator mounts into. I drilled 4 or 5 holes in there. I put rib nuts in it, and actually, I'll just share the link with you. And I use that to attach the front of the belly pan, and then the back I actually use the leaf spring mounts to tighten that up. So that's the front arrow. Back arrow is basically a C7 Z06 wing. I don't have there's a video. So that's my rear arrow. I don't have a belly pan or rear diffuser or anything like that. With Corvette or with drag racing in mind. See a few people run them, but unless I'm doing half-mile stuff or road course, I don't really see the need for carbon fiber rear diffuser. So, I mean, they make them, but man, they're freaking like $2,000 or $3,000. Let's show you that video. Belly pan. Oh, I did one for the SS too. Forgot about that. Oh, and as for mounting, the 0-1 stuff, there is a brace that goes around the radiator hole, if that makes sense, that you screw into. That's the front 0-1 setup, and the side skirt's just 7mm screws into the body. All right. What else going on? So we talked about motor, trans. I didn't talk about trans. Motor, suspension. Yes, a lot of Corvette stuff coming up, or a lot of Corvette stuff going on in the past. A lot of Corvette stuff coming up. Man, we're probably gonna have. I think I have videos through August. No, August is only like 5 days away. Yeah, we'll definitely have videos through August, maybe into September. Because I'm sticking with the one video a week, and maybe we go live once a week or car show or something. We'll stick with that schedule. We have SS content coming up. It'll probably be a month or so. Then truck content coming up. Minimal truck content coming up, but that'll be in after the SS, I think. Oh, and shop updates. We'll have that too. So a lot of stuff coming up on the channel. Corvette, SS, truck, shop updates. So various topics to go over. I have a lot of tools to do reviews on, but I just haven't done them. What else going on? That's about it. Uh-oh. Oh, no, still open. Sorry, guys. I thought I closed it. What? All right, it's been over an hour. I think we could wrap this up. Before we go, if you guys have any last-minute questions, I'll give you guys another minute. Then we'll chill out for the evening. Like I said, I finished up a video today, so we'll get that edited, published in like a month. I think. Well, I can tell you right now, I don't remember where our videos end. So we got Corvette videos until August 12th, and I probably have 4 more videos to edit and publish. Yeah, we'll be in September before the... Hey, Matt. Thanks. See you. Mr. Vice. SS is running good. If you saw those 3 or 4 videos that we did about the spark plugs, God, that sucked. That was one of the hardest issues I've ever had to diagnose. And the car wasn't throwing any codes. So I had that video about it running rough. Ended up being spark plugs. I never replaced the spark plug wires. I've driven it, around North Carolina a lot. Haven't had any issues. With the whole global issue going on right now, there's not much places to go, not many people to see. And the Southeast right now is a real hotbed of that subject matter. And yeah, so, and there's no going to work. So, it doesn't get driven a lot. But yeah. As for updates for that, like I said, I'll have a couple of videos, but we've talked about in the past where I haven't wanted to make it race car, with the LSA and headers. I almost want to say, man, that's all that it needs. I don't need another 700 horsepower car. We could do it, but I want something I can get in the car and drive to California and it'd be fine. Not that I would ever drive to California, but yeah, it is what it is. So it's running well. All right, we'll give you a little bit more. Man, hour 10 minutes is like the longest one in a while. If you guys have any other questions, VF2 Cali wagon. Okay, you're obviously in Australia. The Cali wagon. Was Cali the Australian model? Oh, please tell me it's not a Buick. Ooh. Okay, maybe I shouldn't Google that. I was just Googling Cali wagon and the real nasty German or Chinese. I don't know who makes it. That crappy Commodore came up. Let's type in 2017. I think that was the last year. Okay, so it was just a wagon. Yeah. See, the Australian cars always throw me for a loop because you guys got a bunch of different models of them. And Kelly came with a V6 LS3. Okay. Yeah, we got the, what do they call it? The VFSSV is what we got as the Chevy SS. 2016. Okay, cool. Yeah, like I said, you know, the Americans, we just got the SSV. The naming, I should know more about the Holden stuff, but honestly, it's been a real long time. But yeah, so I've had two of those cars of the Commodores. I had a G8 for 5 years, and I've had the SS for 6 years. Like crap. Yeah, I've had Holdens for 11 years. 10. Yeah, 10 years minimum, almost 11. Yeah, I wish we got the U2. That would be a cool car, but unfortunately, the American pickup market would have killed it. They wouldn't have sold well. And now that's why I have a Duramax pickup. It just the Commodore version one. Like I said, it would have been too expensive, and no one would have bought it. But you are seeing more and more of them being imported as shells. They drill out the firewall, swap that over with the left-hand drive, and go from there. Gotcha. So do you guys just get the 3 series or 5 series over there? Yeah, well, I mean, the SSs were $45,000 US, something like that. And I'm not going to discuss the 35% off in 17. That was you know, that basically took a $45,000 car and made it 35, 32, something like that. 5 series. Okay. Well, at least they choose good cars. Lighting's all. I moved, so the lighting's all screwed up. That's better. So, but yeah, they. Man, now I'm looking at Holden stuff again. Yeah, you guys got. I really. How do I say this? I'm glad the Australians kept making cool cars because, like, here in America, like 20 years ago, when the Camaro died, you know, they stopped making cool cars. Yeah, the Corvette's been around, but the C5 basically had a Camaro interior in it, if that makes sense. The C6 came around when they slightly made it a better car. C7, they went. Steve, I think it was just 17. I could be wrong. Like, I thought they only did that once. And you know, the cars were 35% off, something stupid like that. Maybe it was 30%. Yeah, I think it was spring of 17 only. I could be wrong, but I have a lot of friends that bought the car, and yeah, I definitely paid $10,000 more for the car than they did, and hence why I never upgraded it because I would have owed that $10,000 that I would have paid extra for and not bought a new one. And at that time, I'd already done the Corsa exhaust, the headers, and part of the LSA stuff. So, like, yeah, no. So, but yeah, I mean, besides the spark plugs, that literally is the only issue I've had in 6 years of owning that car, and yes, there's been a couple of recalls on it, but honestly, what car isn't recalled? There's something always going wrong. So it's been a pretty good car. And hell, the spark plugs, I could almost blame myself because I didn't change them when I added the blower. So, you know, if I had swapped them out for a set of NGK, I don't know, something one colder range, you know, for boost, probably wouldn't have had an issue. But you end up tearing half the car apart. You end up finding spark plugs that are dead. I literally just threw the stock ones out. So I threw those out today. I was cleaning off my workbench. I was gonna say the Australians got all the cool stuff. And what I mean by that is, you know, HSV. You guys had options. You could have, you know, your red lines, your GTS. The GTS was it RW1, the LS9 one, the LSA one, and I think they could have put something together to sell some of those parts or cars here, but they didn't. They just, you know, I ended up dumping into a dumpster to pay. Okay, I didn't physically jump into a dumpster to buy an LSA, but it's essentially where my blower came out of. I paid $500 for it. Well, just the blower itself, but you know, those parts were available. They could have just done it there. The the EDI, the data interface, the exhaust interface, they could have done a lot more cool stuff. HSV did all that with their track modes and, you know, the knob. Yes, I always put anti-seize on the sorry. I always put anti-seize on spark plugs. Not all the time, depending on if you put too much anti-seize in there, you take them out, you put them back in, there's still anti-seize on it. TJ Hulk, front cradle. He had some work done, supposedly nothing would have required. Huh. You know, he probably had a front steering rack replacement or whatever, and they probably lowered the cradle down to take the steering rack out or to work on it. Man, okay, I think you got to take the cradle out for that, at least loosen it. That's probably what they did. And FYI, my car still has the recall, and I haven't taken it in. Because honestly, if it's not, and I've never had a steering column reduced mode, you know, there's an error message pops up. I've not had an issue, and until I do, oh well. So, but yeah, I've never touched the cradle on my Corvette SS Corvette. I'm about to replace that with the magnesium one. If you guys want to talk about something crazy, welding magnesium. I was not expecting it to weld. Well, you guys just saw the video. I was expecting it like to burst into flames and burn my house down. Nothing happened. I even took the piles of shavings I had. I lit them on, tried to light them on fire, and nothing. I think the magnesium they use in the subframes and wheels for cars, I think it's a different material than like fire starter magnesium. And TJ Hulk, dude, I don't know. People come and go. People ban me and block me. I don't know. Did he have a YouTube channel? I don't. I'll be honest. I don't follow any SS people on YouTube. There's not many out there in the first place, and in the second place, there's only so much stuff you can do to an SS before it's like, okay, how many times can this be done? So, and if he was on the forums, dude, I haven't been on the forums in 6 months, probably longer. I go on the forums to post links to my build thread, and that's it, if I even log in. But well, now you've got me curious. I'm just going to Google TJ Hulk. See what comes up. Twitter, Fortnite, Instagram. Wow. Real Titty Hawk. That's not what we're talking about. TJ Hawk has a private account on Instagram. Might be the guy. I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. Anyway. Sorry, guys. Right. All right. Wow, almost an hour and a half. Well, I know Mr. Vice is, I'm not sure what. Okay, well now you paste that in, now I have to Google it. 2 years ago. Wow, this dude hasn't posted. I guess he had a YouTube channel and stopped making videos. Oh wow, he's doing all the clickbait titles. That's all right. Yeah, that guy hasn't posted. He's fallen off. No, Steve, I'll be honest. I only know a few YouTubers locally. Everyone else that did YouTube, they don't do it anymore. Actually, I know one guy in California. I met him by accident. I was at a Cars and Coffee the day of my friend's wedding. Kind of a weird story, but we were at Cars and Coffee in Folsom, California, near Sacramento, and dude had a blue SS. I walked up to him and said, "Hey, nice Malibu," and gave him my information. And I've been following him for a while. But yeah, that's all I really know about people on YouTube with SSs. There might be G8 people, but it's the same card. I don't know. And I follow a lot of people. Like I probably have like 50 channels that I subscribe to, but a lot of them don't upload, and some of them I just ignore, like Motor Trend. Hera, harsh. What's harsh? Oh, the Malibu? Oh, if that's what you're talking about. Yeah, the guy knew I was joking. Like I said in a joking manner. And tried telling me about the LS3 and the Hold. I'm like, yeah, I have one. Well, it is. If I've said this on the channel before, if they took the G8 exterior and the SS interior and put them into one car, I think that's the best looking Holden out there. I think the G8 just has better lines. I just hated the interior. I like the interior of the SS, but the exterior looks like an Impala or Malibu, whatever. So. Family Cruising? I don't know who Family Cruising is. Or is that a... Let's Google it. Paul from Family Cruising. Was this the guy that was arrested for Hellcat videos? He was arrested in 2019. Wow. YouTube drama I don't need to pay attention to. VF2 Black Edition. I've got a lot of VF2 black parts on my car. Thank you, Holden. Man, that's way too bright. Sorry, guys. Quell, the GXP wasn't 6 times the price. Honestly, man, just buy a GT, get the front bumper and the rear diffuser off the GXP, and you're golden. That's all you need. The GXP wasn't anything special. I know I might burn some bridges with that, but honestly, the GXP wasn't. Who cares? It has different brakes and LS3 in it. The L76, swap out the cam, and you'll make more power than LS3 and not pay $25,000 and get it for, I don't know, 10 grand. So, oh, manual. I hate to say this, manual cars are slower. If you want to put a Camaro transmission in a GXP or G8, so, or buy an SS. I mean, that's what it comes down to. It's like you're going to spend the money for a manual GXP. You're going to spend just something. You know, I would never spend $25,000, $30,000 on a GXP. I don't know if that's the prices, but I would never spend $25,000 on a GXP when an SS, which is a lot nicer, newer, may or may not have a warranty, and probably not have a warranty at this point, for $5,000 more. Buy the SS. Plus, if you think about it, the newest GXP is 11 years old. It doesn't make sense to spend that kind of money on a Pontiac. So, Steve, yeah, where I'm at, I don't have access to other. Well, that's why you see him in all the sideshow videos. I hate to say, you see all these cars getting tore up. Yeah, collaborations are a interesting topic. I haven't done any. I mean, like I said, there's no one of my scale. And what I mean by that, there's no one that's small like me in my area that I'd even do a collaboration with. Because basically you're going to have the same video from two people. And they just don't do well. And if you're subscribed to one guy, you're not going to subscribe to the other guy to see the other perspective of the same video. So that's the thing about collaborations. So yeah, G8 GTs are 8,000 though. Wow. Like I was talking about earlier, that's why you see them in sideshow videos and stuff like that, because they're not $30,000. Hellcats are cool. I'd like a Hellcat. Just because they're 700 horsepower and they're a tank. All right, what else? All right, so we're at an hour and a half. I'm going to wrap this up. If you guys have any questions, comments, and you missed any part of this video, didn't even know that. The LS3. Speaking of Hellcat, guys, I just saw a guy with a Trackhawk nail a barrier in Charlotte, and no, it wasn't Goon Squad. Nailed a barrier, and he was like running around in drag slicks in the rain. I was like, it rains here. You can't drive around on slicks. But anyway, Yeah, Mr. Vice, wasn't the VE based off of the M5? Is that right? 5 Series? From like '02 or something like that. They hired a bunch of German engineers and they carried maybe not the same design, but a lot of the design over from BMW, put it into Holden. But yeah, I agree with you, Qual. It's not worth an engine. An LS3 engine is worth $3,000, if that, 4 maybe. It's not worth 4 times the price of a car. You know, $10,000 car versus 30. Of course, our numbers are inflated, but anyway. Actually, speaking of Holden, they're doing the Holden Extravaganza, whatever the hell that thing's called. Yeah, Holden Extravaganza down in Georgia. I'm obviously not there because we're here in the shop or in the house, and I hope those guys are having fun. I doubt anyone's watching because I don't. How many of those guys subscribe here? But hope those guys are having fun. I just wouldn't risk it with gathering people from all over the country in Georgia, which is a hotbed of the global issue. And the reason I've said this multiple times, the reason I won't call it the proper name is because YouTube looks out for keywords, and that's keyword. So I don't need to get this video demonetized. Actually, my last live stream didn't get monetized either. Not that you make any money on these, but anyway, what else was I saying? Oh, that the BMW. I read something about that. I could be wrong. Hellcat videos have drama. Yeah, not hard hitting things, people being faster than you. And I watch Street Speed 717, and he's smoked a lot of Hellcats with his various cars, whether it's the McLarens or Corvettes. I don't like his exotic content. I don't watch him. If it has a 720 on it, or his old whatever car, didn't watch it. I was looking at Lamborghinis. I'm like, nope. So, but anyway. That's not the one where the car was on fire. All right, Mr. Vice, lunch. Oh yeah, you're like 13 hours ahead. Have fun. Be safe. Steve, that's not the car that was on fire and the guy rebuilt it from the ground up. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Like there was I'm not sure if he was on YouTube, but I think it was on Facebook. Anyway, I've seen the overall like 10-minute clip. The dude like bought the crunched car and wow. Okay, it's not the same guy then. There's been a few guys buying Copart auction cars and rebuilding them, and hey, that's cool. If I had the skill set and shop, because it's one thing of building, modifying a car. It's another building a car because like you need space for all those parts. Family cruising. Okay, that might be who I'm thinking of. Family. No, that's not the guy. Hellcat rebuild. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to Google and Alex rebuilt. No, it wasn't him. The drive.com doesn't work. Wow. Wasn't Junkyard Dave. I like his channel. Alex Rebuilds. No, it's not that guy. Anyway, I don't know who it was. It was some guy. C6 rocker panels are bonded to the frame. Yes. They're glued. Good luck. SRT mush. I'm just Googling these. I don't know. SRT mush rebuild. SRT mush apparently got divorced. Oh, yeah. I just found a guy on YouTube. I forgot his name. He's common swapping a S95, SN95, the latest Mustang. It was very interesting. What was his name? He's from Kansas. Weston Champlin. If you guys want to see an interesting swap, the guy's putting a 12 valve Cummins into a Mustang, like a 2015 Mustang, and it's interesting. I was like, what? But anyways, I guess he come and swap the world. This is real cool. Man, I really wish I knew the guy. Sam Crack? No. All right, I found it. Sorry, guys. You think of something, you can't find it. DIY gang. This looks like a pirated video. What I mean by that is it looks like he screen recorded it. That might be the guy. Let me check his other videos. Oh, he bought the Hellcat Miata. That's cool. If you guys don't know what the Hellcat Miata is, basically a guy. Hellcat Miata was painted by a guy in Florida. The dude wrecked it, and another guy bought it to rebuild it. Wow, Quill, they blocked your message. I just had to hit approve. Yeah, bodywork sucks. That's one thing I won't do. Okay, I'll do DIY stuff, but if you're repairing a car and want it to look good, I ain't painting it. So, damn, we've gone almost hour 40 minutes. All right, well, yeah, check out DIY guy. That's the guy I was talking about with the burnt Hellcat. It was completely burnt, and he repaired it and painted it plum crazy purple. But man, with a car that damaged, see, that's what happens with fires. Like the cars turn. How much weakened have they become? That's why I would never buy a burnt car. Just it's like how much damage is caused by the heat, the fire, and all that. But all right, well, and if Steve, you might be interested in Googling a guy called Junkyard Dave. You may or may not be aware of it. He's doing a Dodge Magnum build onto a like 2016 or newer Dodge Charger, and he's making it all like four-wheel drive out of the Trackhawk and twin turboing it. He's probably got like 10 or so videos up of the current build. This is the second one he's building. So if you're like SRTs, Junkyard Dave is probably like my favorite guy on YouTube right now. That's not huge. He hasn't blown up yet. I think he's got like 100,000 subs, and his videos they're raw, if that makes sense. Like you still see messes up on them, and they're pretty good. So, but all right, guys, hour 45 minutes. I meant to be on here for like 30 minutes, not an hour 41. So, if you guys have any questions, comments, comment down below. If you need to reach out to me for anything, Instagram, Facebook, messages are probably the best way, or email me. It's on my YouTube channel. And if you want to help support the channel, check out the links to my website, BonecrrusherSS.com. And you always got to put a plug in for yourself. And we've got shirts, stickers, and all that stuff. So, but all right, guys, you have a good night, and we'll see you later.